Right, hi everybody, welcome back to LUNDY'S Bushcraft, and today we're going to be looking at another tent I've purchased about 6 months ago, but obviously with lockdown and everything going on, I haven't been able to use it yet, so I brought it up to the woods today to get it out for the bag for the first time. I've never even had it out the bag, to be quite honest, and this is a OLPRO Voyager 2-man tent, and it says on the bag here, like, it's got Ultec 500 fabric, guaranteed protection. It's a Ripstop fabric with extra strengths. OLPRO lightweight, it's 1.9 kilograms with aluminium poles and pegs. Okay, and as you can see, there's a picture there on the back as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we'll quickly take it out of its bag, lay the contents out, and have a look at what we're looking at. Okay, because it's going to be the first time for me and probably the first time for most of you as well. So let's get set up and we'll have a look what's in it. Okay then, so here we are then. So as you can see, the stuff sack has a nice draw cord on it, luminous green, so you're never going to lose it, are you? Aye. It has two compression straps on the sides, and it also has a carrying handle on it. So if you want to just carry it in your hand rather than on your bergen. But let's open this up and see what comes out of the bag. Pick that up there, I have my bloody metal can. So, is there anything else in the bag? Nothing else in the bag there. Okay, obviously I'll be taking that label out of there. And as you can see with this, compared to the last tent review I'd done, it's got a string cord on it, which I don't like because you tend to lose them in any way. It's best off with them Velcro straps like we had on the TP tent. Rolling it out, bit of paper here. It's on here. Thank you for purchasing this. £5% off me next on all further purchases. So obviously I've got a code there, so in case I buy anything else off them, I'll put that in my pocket. And we've got a small bag here, nice bit of cordage on it again. Bags look reasonable. Nice pegs. So in here we'll have a sealant kit, which is handy to get with your tent. So obviously that's telling me that there's a possibility that I'm going to be using it. We'll put that on there. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got 12 of these pegs here. Okay, the aluminium pegs, a bit like the shape of a nail. Okay, with the hook. So, what are they? They're not that big, are they really? Not long, but that's the pegs. Put that back in there so we don't lose it. And then we'll have another stuff sack with obviously the poles, and I think this has 2 different poles on it. Yeah, example poles, and obviously they've got the shape when you put them together of the actual tent, as you can see. Okay, and we'll not bother with that one. Obviously that's the larger one, that must be the lower the foot end of the tent, and this one here must be for the top half of the tent. Then we'll have 2 separate parts. We've got the inner here, which we'll take a better look at when we actually put it up. As you can see, it's got all the little hooks on, bungee cord and everything. Okay, let's just open it up there. Let's have a look. So as you can see, it hasn't got much by the looks of it of mesh. It's got a little window at one end and a little window at the side on here at the other end, sorry, so not much there, so the condensation might be a bit of an issue. So put that there, and then obviously we've got the outer part of the tent. So I think what we'll do is, rather than just ripping everything apart, we'll get the outer put up first. That's the thing I like about this, you can put the outer up first and then the inner, or you can actually leave the inner in if it's not damp or anything or wet because of rain on the outside, and then you can just put it all up in a oneer and you've got nothing to worry about there. Okay then, so as you can see, I've got a pull of the large end here. So as on the top here, you've got a red skirt, and then the same at the bottom end down there, got to put the poles through. So let's get the poles. And then all you do is have a look, just make sure, yeah, put the pole through the skirt on the top, centered, and then coming down you can see where the pole connectors are on here, look. Clip them on, and then at the bottom we'll have a loop, and like obviously this will be for the peg out as well, so I think we'll just put that through that loop there like so, and do the same on the other side. And then with the smaller pole, just carry out the same drill as before. Put the pole through the skirt, all the way through. Till the top part goes in there. And we'll just clip the clips on, which is just one on here. Put that in the hole, pull it tight. Do the same again. Find the loop. Just down here. Pull that. Nice and tight. Seems a bit of a snug fit, this one. That's what them loops are for anyway, to give you that little extra bit, but feels quite tight, that. Right, so I've just took the clip off the side just to see if that would make it any easier. Let's have it. That is really tight to get in, that. Jesus Christ, I'd hate to be doing this on a windy day. No, you're alright, mate. Right, that's it, it's in. Just with it being new, I was a bit dubious if I was going to be pulling it too tight. So that's both the ends done there, and anyway. Okay, and then so now we've got the both sets of poles in. Now what we're going to do is we're going to peg it out. Okay, and on the bottoms here you have two straps on, which are for tighteners, and it has a little bit that loops over at the bottom there to stop it from pulling out. So we'll see how that works. We're just going to put them in loose, right onto the loose part for now. Obviously following the line down the seam to where we put our pegs. Okay, let's get another peg out. Do exactly the same on the other end, following where the seam goes to where we angle our straps. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move to the larger end of the tent and look at the straps on here, and we'll have 3 straps on and one centralized. So what we need to do is we need to make sure you extend them first. Okay, and then we're going to peg these out as well. Obviously getting the peg, making sure it's nice and straight, putting it in a 45-degree angle, okay, and keeping the hook part facing down to the ground so it stops it slipping off. And then do the same on the other ones, which is just one to this a quarter to the right. Watch where the seams are going and do exactly the same again. So follow the stream, put the peg in and put it in at the same angle as the seam. Okay, right, next step. Okay then, so now we're looking at the tent's practically up now, but now what we need to do is fasten off the locations where the bottoms of the poles come out. So as you can see here, we've got one there. Okay, just take a little bit of tension, peg that in, and then do the same on the other side. On this one, you need to make sure you pull it nice and tight. Okay, put your peg in, and then we'll do the same up on the top side. Okay, so we've got 3 other tie outs to do. We've got 2 at the large end, okay, and as you can see, they're on a nice little bit of triangular material. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around the pole, because I think that'll make it stronger, okay, because if you've got loads of wind pulling on this and this material's loose on its own, I think it could possibly tear. And then we'll just tie that off, do the same on the other side, and then if we walk down the bottom of the tent, you can see there's another tie off here. But then what we've got to think about is that's getting a bit slack there now, so we're going to pull this out, make it better. That's much better there. Okay, because all you got to do is go around doing a few tweaks, right? So we'll not bother pegging out the guide ropes because we don't really need it, it's not windy. Okay, but looking on here, all you can see is you've got a bit of a flap here, but as I said on the last video I've done on another tent, these flaps had the bars that's velcroed onto a bit here to stay up. These aren't, so the wind's going to be pushing on there and the wind's not going to be coming up that gap, really, is it? So that's a bit of a negative thought on it straight away for myself. And then as you can see, we've got another one here, exactly the same. And then down the bottom end, we'll just get rid of that guide rope. We've got another one here, velcroed, but actually, oops, sorry, camera's pointing the wrong direction. We've actually got one here that's actually got a proper velcro thing on it, so that's happy days. Push that up over and that'll keep it further out. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll get the door open, have a look and see what kind of room we've got in there and see what the fastening of the door is like, and then we'll start looking at fitting the inner. So here we are then at the zip part. Nice little tag on it, velcro patches all the way up, keeping the zip protector leg skirt over it, and the zip comes all the way up to the top, and that's it. It's just one straight zip, doesn't go at the sides or anything. And then all we're going to do is we're going to roll it up. As you can see on the top here, we've got 2 fastening pins. We'll just roll it up nice and neatly. I've got a loop on the side, a toddle on the top, and that one, same again. So let's have a look on the inside. So you can see there's plenty of room in it. Okay, obviously we've got to put the inner yet. Yeah, so as you can see on the inner side here, we've got a bit of a mesh window, which is very little. Okay, and then up on the top end we've only got 2 more bits of mesh, which is absolutely minute on their little triangle there. and a little triangle there. So that's very concerning, considering the amount of mesh that's on the inner. Right, so as you can see, we've got the inner laid out on the floor. I'm just going to take a quick look around it, and as I can see, yet again, some loose threads, okay, which isn't a good sign, so we might have to sort that out. Yeah, and obviously you've got this two small triangles at the top to marry up with them ones inside, and then the small one down the bottom. Okay, the actual material on the bottom feels a good thickness, yeah, so that's happy days. And then we've got the body part of it itself, okay, with all the little hoops to obviously fasten the door up, and all the little bits and pieces to fasten it to the inner of the outer part. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get them attached, and as you can see on the bottoms we've got little bits of elastic with hooks as well. So what we'll do is we'll get in there, we'll fasten it up, and then we'll take another look. So that's the inner all put up. Yeah, so we'll come to the door and then zip through, and obviously it's got the outer part, which is already dirty because it's white, which I don't like about it. And then underneath that we'll have a netting, so obviously if it's a bit condensation and all that, I suppose you could just wrap this outer layer off, and then you've got your big net there, and anyway that'll give you more circulation of air getting in to stop the condensation. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to open the both of them up and roll them both together. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look and see, can you roll that up on its own, because that's a thing that we need to think about, and I can't see how you can do that, to be honest, because there's not a toggle there. So that's an issue, because the only toggle you've got is on the inner side of the actual net. Yeah, so put them both up in any rate, and then we'll have a look inside. I'm not going to climb inside because I've got dirty clothes on, because I've been doing a bit of bushcrafting, but let's have a look inside. Okay, then now we've got that rolled up. Obviously it could be a little bit tidier. All right, that's me, not the product itself. Okay, so I'm not going to climb inside, but I'll take the camera inside, and as you can see, there's absolutely tons of room in there, plenty of room for one person in all his kit, and a nice snug fit really for two people. Yeah. It seems okay inside it all together, and what I can see inside, we've got a hook inside here to put your light up on, so that's happy days. Everybody always likes something to put the light on. And is that a pocket on the side? So we've got a pocket here. Have we got any more pockets? We've got one pocket. One pocket. That's not many little storage areas in here, is it? And same again, I can see a bit of shoddy work on the actual stitching as well down here. Let's see if you can see it. Don't know if you can see it with it, but there's a bit of shoddy stitching on here again. Seems to be a thing with getting budget tents, stitching wise. Yeah, but another thing with this, it's quite white inside, so as soon as the sunrise comes up, it's going to be bright as out in here. I would prefer a darker inner, to be honest, but let's just take a step out here. So that's the OLPRO Voyager 2-man tent. Let's think positives about it. It's light, it's spacious for a 1-man. I would say it'd be a tight squeeze for 2. The cost of it was £76 to £80. I bought it a few months ago, so I'm not 100% sure. I'll look at that and I'll put it up on the screen now. Okay, the other thing I like about it is the static head is 5,000. Okay, so it's got a good waterproof system on it. I like the pegs, the shape of the pegs. They could be a bit longer, I suppose, but I like the way the pegs in it. It's very easy to put up. That's another good point about it. The negative thoughts about it myself is little bits of stitching. Another issue with stitching on a tent is just shoddy workmanship, to be quite honest. There's only one door on it. I would have preferred two, because it's a two-man tent. Otherwise you're going to be climbing over each other, and where you're going to put your bergens, the vestibule in it just isn't big enough whatsoever. Possibly not even to get one bergen in, hence why I think it should be only a one-man tent size. This something I think 10 people should look at. Other things is on the inner you've got two sections. You've got the bug netting, and then you've got the outer casing. The outer casing part of it, you can't roll it up on its own because it hasn't got a buckle up here, not unless there's one in here, which there isn't. No, so you can't tie that up by itself. So if it's warm in your tent on a night time, condensation is going to build up because you're going to have that down, whereas you could just have it with just the netting open, which would make it a lot better and stop any condensation. And I think that's about it really. This tent cost me, I think it was about £78. I'll have to look it up and put it up on the screen because it's been a few months since I bought it. But other than that, it's not a bad tent. I'm not over keen on the red, especially for being in the woodland. So I think the black and nasty marker, get it on there, colour in, should be happy days. But yeah, a good sized tent for a one person. So anyway, anybody got any questions about it, just put it in the comments below, and hope this has been of interest to you. So thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.